Okay guys, so today the 3.2 update came out, and I think so far my hot take on 3.2 is overall it's a stinker. It's another update that makes the game overall easier to play again, but at the same time it makes it more annoying to actually get anything done in the game. So let's quickly go over what's good and what's bad here. Good change number 1. There have been a number of UI improvements across the app. Achievements are easier to check out and redeem now more than ever. I appreciate that. Also, the in-game money monitor is now easier to read than ever. They added commas to it. They also added another 0 so you can hold more money than ever, which is awesome for me since half the time my money was getting stuck in the achievement box. I appreciate that. Also, in some sorting improvements, you can now tell which parts you can alter, but even though you can do that, that's not that helpful because it's still difficult to actually alter them even if you know what you can do. I kind of think this change is useless because without an overall way you can go from the what you can alter to the alteration menu, it doesn't help. Also, you know I like putting marks on my Gundams because I got addicted to that during the old battle circuit runs, and they still haven't created a way to filter parts without marks, which is something I really want, so I can easily put universal marks on parts that do not have marks. Okay, so there's a big new feature called the attribute link. This is kind of helpful, but not that helpful. Long story short, if you have two parts with the same name, by using it, you can check out which part is better and quickly swap them out. You can also quickly upgrade the parts, and also having both parts will get you a small stat bonus. But the bad thing about this is it kind of implies that they're planning on releasing every single part in the game and every single attribute in the game, which is just like another blatant cash grab, and I'm not exactly thrilled with this because it means they're going to try to stretch the game out for like years, just giving us the same crap over and over again in different attributes. But at the same time, if you at least have two parts with the same attribute, it is a little bit helpful. Anyway, the big elephant change in the room is that they added 7-star parts, which so far are useless and dumb. It's another useless, needless power creep. And to make matters even more extra useless, so far since this is the first week they've rolled it out, it's insanely expensive to do it. You need to collect outrageously expensive red upgrade items from the shop, and on top of that, the only suit you can actually push to 7-star right now is the suit of the week, the Kakushiki Kai. And I feel like, why? Why bother? The Kakushiki Kai, okay, it's a cool design. I love the Kakushiki Kai. It's got this weird alien head, it's got a cool backpack. The EX skill on the backpack is actually really good. The arms also have good EX skills. But aside from its looks, it's a 4 out of 10 in terms of in-game power. So I guess you would actually need to upgrade it to 7-star for it to be competitive at all. Either way, I didn't feel like going on it, and I couldn't have even if I wanted to because it was so expensive to get it to 7 stars. Now, I did pull 3 parts to get the Charity Barbatorus this week. Now, the drop banner on the Kakushiki Kai has a pretty average drop rate of about 3 parts and 5 pulls. Anyway, at least I made a fun space Kakushiki Kai based Gundam for my weekly build, and yeah, that looks alright. Also, this week is a capsule coin week, and the suit that you're most likely to get out of the gacha is the Easy 8. I still haven't finished the Easy 8 or the Unarmored Gundam Alex for that matter. And my friend Mark gave me some pretty valuable advice that I should concentrate on getting it this week, and then if later on there's another capsule coin event, I should just save my coins until it comes back around. So in the meantime, I guess I'm going to push harder to try and get the Easy 8 this week. I got the head finally, so now I'm just missing the torso. So since I played through the weekly event, I got the Charity Barbatorus, and I gotta say, the Charity Barbatorus is a fun unit. The stats are a little bit low for a melee suit, but fuck it, it's got horse legs. Look at my goofy horse legs, ha ha ha! Anyway, in another negative change in the 3.2 update, the weekly hard challenge scenario mission, which was barely even that hard. It was kind of hard when it first came out, like the first couple of weeks when it was first like a new thing. Anyway, that's been officially nerfed, which again is just like, why? It wasn't even that hard anymore. If you leveled up the weekly charity suit to 90, it was not a problem. And now since they nerfed it, you can use your usual backup suits to back it up, so now you don't even have to try. I am so disappointed in this. I mean, the mission wasn't even that hard anymore, so why bother nerfing it? I think if anyone was having problems with it, like, you raised the roof too, so just why? Anyway, so this almost got past me last week because I was in a hurry, but so all the Batlog charity suits end up having these useless parts that have archer stance on them. And I like archer stance, but as it turns out, last week they unlocked all the Batlog suits for permanent alteration in the permanent alteration menu. And all the charity Batlog suits got permanent gold class alters. And the big deal here is that all of the suits that had the parts with archer stance can be upgraded to mega upgraded hardcore original EX skills. And also some of the other parts as usual get cool upgrades and the usual stat boosts. Now, if you want a full overview of this topic, I did a 15-minute stream last week about the first batch of parts you could do it with. This week they added in the Barbatoris, so that's a new addition. So I quickly reviewed the parts which are viable. When all was said and done, I ended up prioritizing altering the legs, the longsword, the twin blade rifles, the torso, the arms, and the head of the Barbatoris. Honestly, it was really almost everything except the backpack and the blades. Those didn't really seem worth it. But yeah, long story short, the best parts for the charity Barbatoris are definitely the legs, which I mean, obviously there's 4 of them. But on top of that, altering them unlocks the Barbatoris' signature arrow nuke skill, seen prominently at the end of Batlog episode 6. And yeah, it's an awesome move. The Big Zam came back this week and they raised the difficulty to ultimate level, but even with that difficulty raise, it's just as weak as ever, and I still managed to kill it in like 5 freaking seconds, so I guess really who cares that's stronger, it's still a pushover. Okay, so one of the biggest new things they did add some brand new Inferno Missions from Katamatsu. However, unlike the old Inferno Missions, these ones aren't super tough actually. They have a few cheap tricks and they use a broken version of the spaceport map, which has 2 of the main bridges blocked off to make it very difficult to travel around if all 3 of your suits aren't perfectly tuned. And to add insult to injury, there is a 60-second time limit achievement, so you can only get that if all 3 of your suits are perfect. Now, I did a stream of it specifically, and it did take me about an hour to beat all 4 of these stages. It's supposed to be a set of 4 missions, but in another 3.2 update glitch, the power attribute mission comes pre-completed. I played it on my stream anyway in case they patch it out later. The missions aren't that hard, they're just kind of cute and cheap. You need to build 4 different teams, one based around each attribute alphabet, and then a 4th and final team that mixes one of each type together to make a like super team. Anyway, I just kept this chart handy to remind me what does what, and yeah, it was easy with that. Anyway, continuing along here, we have a new gallery uploading mission and a mission uploading mission. The gallery missions are straightforward, do 3 picture uploads and then like 15 photos. The mission uploads are similar, you have to upload 3 new missions and then play 10 of them. I ended up playing 10 random missions, which were all kinds of different levels of difficulty. A bunch of them were acid missions, which apparently you can't beat unless you have like a really specialized build, since spawning into them creates like instant death. There is some convoluted way to avoid this, I just haven't figured it out. I also found another stage with invincible enemies, which is again annoying, but I did play this really fun stage where I fought a bunch of super robot customs, which were actually really hard on top of that. I somehow got all the way to the end, so that was a pretty endearing stage. Anyway, it looks like they've updated the custom mission menu to make it more incentivized to play it, and now they want you to play 3 random missions daily, which is just some more tedious fun. And lastly, I guess there's an update to the main story, which I plan on streaming later tonight. Hopefully that turns out well. I'll let you guys know later, I guess, when I stream it. Alright, anyway guys, I guess that's it. 3.2 update is just annoying so far, and 6-star part or 7-star parts aren't actually useful yet, except on the Kakushiki Kai, which is not a good suit to have them on. And they cost too much money, so like I can't even imagine you would actually have the money to unlock them, even if you wanted to 7-star out the Kaku Kai. So anyway, yeah, bad update. Just more weird nerfing and weird raising the roof. Hopefully the next update's better than this one. Anyway, that's about all from Gundam Breaker Mobile, but if you also are a fan of Code Fairy, the last volume came out this week. I already reviewed it because I was really into Code Fairy and I really like that game. So yeah, if you want a full guide to how to get through the last volume, check out my review because I kind of did that too. I was being Buster Green. I only need 300 and like, I just need like 300 something subscribers. Help me out here, guys. It's Christmas. I could stand to be monetized. That would be nice. All right. See you guys next week.